Good afternoon. It is about noon on Saturday, the 24th of August, 2019. And today we're going to go over a change of routine here on this live stream. We're going to go over some altcoin fundamentals. Saturday, the 24th of August, 2019. I see the sound is working. If you see let me know if the sound is working for you while we're here. So let's jump in. First of all, this isn't trading advice. It's not something that I'm saying that you should buy or sell on anything. But let's start off just taking a quick look at Bitcoin right now. I do have a few things set up here new and different on the stream that I want to test out as well. And I want your feedback on whether or not this format, this information that I'm seeking out as we go through, let me know if this is something that is interesting to you. What we're going to do is check out all of the coins that are trading on Binance. This is Binance, but this isn't what I wanted to look at. Here we go. Trade alerts for Binance US coins. Okay, this is the Binance US coins, but what I want is the margin traded coins on Binance. So I'm certain that they are within this range, but we're going to look through this range of 30 coins, probably less than that, because I do want to focus on the margin traded coins. So where is that post for the margin traded coins? Crypto alerts testing is complete. So this is the crypto alerts testing blog, where I was testing all of our alerts and publishing them here to be sure that the automation in our spreadsheet was working properly and doing its job. And I'm really pleased with it. It's very exciting to see how all of that stuff's been turning out. But I thought I had a blog post for Binance US coins, live results. I thought I had Binance margin traded coins, or maybe I just tagged them in our spreadsheet. And I don't have a specific list of them here. I was certain I did. And so I want to go through those Binance margin traded coins, and I want to go over to CoinMarketCap. I want to open up each one of them, and I want to read through what's on the website, what's on their social media, and I'm going to make notes about each one of them. And then we can do a little bit of technical analysis and go through what's happening in the charts right now. But most of that, I am going to do less of the live cryptocurrency technical analysis and leave that over to the patron group and the alerts sponsored section of the website. And so I want to do parallel research now for the coins that are traded in the margin trading on Binance. Where can I find that? So in this live stream, I want you guys to guide me as we're going. And let me know if this kind of research is what you're looking for. Let me know if you know of other resources I should be looking for each of these coins. So today is going to be a long live stream as I go through all of this research. And I hope it's interesting for you, but more for my own research right now. And also to test out this setup of the live stream software. Okay, so the chat is working. I see that is coming up over there. So where did I post that detail about the margin traded coins? I know I got that prepared. Let's go to the home page of the website. And on that page, here we go. On this page, I want to scroll down and go to the blog. Here we have crypto signals. I think maybe I put the list in here. course, it's going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple are going to be markets that we look at. Litecoin for sure. Binance Coin is traded. EOS is. I don't think Stellar. Cardano is on both BitMEX and Binance, but not Tron. Tron is only on Binance. I mean, BitMEX, I'm sorry. They'll choose. And Link is also a margin traded coin. Now I have lots of open tabs. This is our daily updates for the Bitcoin technical analysis and for our cryptocurrency technical analysis. The same live streams but shorter that I was doing daily on this channel and the Bitcoin channel. This is the home page, and these are the active top alerts that we are holding right now in our spreadsheet. These are alerts that we put out whenever it says on the screenshot, and we're up 27%, 26, 20, 15. We've got a ton of them that are open and profitable right now. This is a really great time for cryptos. Amazing. And this is why I want to do this research on the coins that are traded on Binance. Damn it, I don't know where I listed that. Bless you, neighbor. All right, so let's go to the good old internet. This has got to have a support center, fax, download, announcements. Back to where they are talking about margin trading for these ones. Margin trading for these ones. And I know within here, there we go, margin fees. And on this fees page, we can see which coins are actually traded here. And of course, you can't sort it by alphabet, so you have to jump back and forth. But these are the coins that I want to do some fundamental analysis on to see if there are announcements or news or social media or anything else that I don't know that doesn't show up in the charts that maybe will be affecting prices over the next week. And so as this live stream gets going along, we'll have information built up. We'll know more about what was going on in each of these coins. And so if you've got a place where you do your research for this kind of detail, a fundamental analysis, please pop it in the chat. Say hello in the chat. Let me know where in the world you are from. I think this is publishing live right now. And if you haven't already, stop into our crypto trading community. We have free updates going on there all the time. We're always monitoring what's going on in the markets. You can also find out what we do for additional pay services there as well. Pumpy Dumpy, good to have you along from Holland. So it is noon right now in Canada. Holland, it must be 6, 7 p.m. Noon in my area of Canada. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I don't need that page anymore. This is where the data is going to start coming through. We'll start going through these backwards. Do I need this one? No. I don't need that one anymore. Actually, I could have used that one, but I'll reopen it. This is the page that I want. So I don't want to go back to that one. I don't want to go back to that one. A quick look at Bitcoin bounced out of these ranges right here. We got Bart Simpson after Bart Simpson going on like an S-curve racetrack going on here. So EOS, let's start at the top and work our way down and then close these as we find out information. So EOS, I want to go to the social and take a look at what's going on. In this chart, I don't know, it never makes much sense to me, because it doesn't stay the same ratios. What I mean is, if I drag this in, you see how the yellow line is above the green and then goes down below the green here? That's an important cross. So if that crosses the other way, that's going to mean the trend is going the other way. That's huge. The price in BTC and the market cap. So it's gone up in US dollar value, but the price versus BTC has gone down because BTC is going up faster. If that switches the other way, it's going to coincide with Bitcoin dominance sliding off, and we know that these are all going to be taking off. But you see when I scroll in here, it didn't mess up yet. Okay, maybe it's maybe they've fixed their relative positioning here, or this example didn't work out properly, but the crossover, it continues to happen at about the same time as I zoom in on this. So this isn't really fundamentals. Again, this is still charting. And I don't want to decide if this is good, so a good technology or not. I want to know what's going on in the project that might affect investors getting all excited. And then once they're starting to get excited, it's probably going to coincide with our chart patterns. And so we can see which of the chart patterns are most likely this week to be taking off, I'm assuming, by doing some of this research. So the weekly discussion and updates here is going to be something good. Block 1 CEO, this is probably interesting. If it's got 25 points and 57 comments, something seriously needs to be done. That is too inflammatory. I don't care. BitGo launches multi-sig wallet for custody of EOS. Explain to me how Bitcoin is decentralized. Fine. Beginner EOS. Now, if you have a forum, 7 p.m., if you have a place where you go for EOS information, I would love for this live stream to be that kind of collective, put your information in here. This is where we get the most information about EOS that's going to help us. Because I predominantly look at the charts and I'm doing fantastic on the trades right there, right now. It is doing enormously well. And especially if we take a look at what the altcoins are doing right now, we can see a big uptick in our bullishness index on our bull bear ratio here. This is really key. And that's where we've generated so many of those immediate profits. Those are off the first coins that are taking off. Later, I'll go back and I'll do the same kind of research on those specific coins. EOS is making massive progress 12 minutes ago. Public blockchains popping up every month with a new specialization. Ethereum community is so funny. They think they figured it all out, but the truth that they're falling behind. I'm not anti-ETH, but if this is going to be a place, a backbone on which decentralized apps run, I want to have a piece of it. Autonomous communities cooperating together to become freedom's lost. And then we go into more about talking about the details of freedom and everything. I'm not really concerned about that. I want to see a specific launch date that is going to give me a inside view as to where prices might be jumping. If there's new technology or something else that's going to be released in EOS, that's what I'm looking for here. So block 1 must be the EOS official Twitter, or something that runs on EOS. Let's see, last night's Giggling Girls. Okay, it's probably not the announcement I'm looking for. Public infrastructure. New partnerships with Kelly Services on August the 15th. Check out our alpha release. The Android plugin. Pardon me. Strategic vision, fourth and final entry of a series of addresses, applications, innovation to support their needs. Strategic. So it's still under implementation if they're having strategy, part 4 of 4. Developer building, check out our first tool feature, community built for developers. We are seeking highlighting the studio. So we are moving into it on August the 6th, but if the first tool sets are just now, likely spring before we're getting something launched from a pro team that is really developing something deep. So EOS, generally, I'm getting an idea that it's good to keep an eye on because it could be a decentralized platform on which apps are built. And I want to keep an eye on every different platform on which apps are built. But it doesn't give me an idea that something is coming up right away. If you know of something, put that up in the chat for sure. Let's go just take a quick look at the 3-month view of what's been going on with this. Pull this out a little bit. It's probably going through the same thing as all the other coins, and the cross was here. The break was here on April the 1st, and then the cross happened here through May for most of the coins, maybe. We'll see as we go through. And now this is making a potential bottom formation. Let's go see what is going on with Cardano. So if you've got a question about Cardano, if you want us to find something out, or if you know something of Cardano that hiring new managers, then stick that in the chat. All right, guys. The advice, slow-moving Jiden that hasn't started rushing yet. So here's another one that is under development. It's on those lows. I know they did a launch. I'm not sure if that was Cardano or Tron. 2 ways the project can go into marketing your product. You say both ways. Super flashy. So building partnerships. But it doesn't sound just from the rollout here that they are launching something. They're still under development. Let them continue to code for a very long time without them ever to create any revenue. So, long-term investment, not ready to launch right now. We're not going to see it moon except for some maybe, just going with the market. And because it's margin traded, it can be manipulated and pumped, but I'd be watching closely for all top formations trading this one. So, first reiterate some important concepts. We're going on and on explaining why we're not there yet. For as soon as I can see it right away, we've got community managers, so they're building awareness of it, getting developers maybe. Lack of attention to pay to Africa. Korean, New York Times. So more about the Cardano projects better than Bitcoin, which is good. Let's go and check that out. Cardano staking. What is peer review and what is not? And the weekly recap. All right, so now we're getting into some good stuff. Hey, Tom Greenland, good to have you along. So, Phantom Cardano projects among better than Bitcoin. 3 cryptos are being better than Bitcoin while clarifying that Bitcoin is even better. 2 projects among those revealed to decrypt were Phantom and Cardano. 2 projects among the 3 that were revealed. Okay, let's go see the 3 that were revealed. Phantom and Cardano. Phantom, I've seen it trading, but it's brand new to me, so this is good research. Phantom is somewhat of an underdog. Sure, maybe. Cardano is one of those top projects. Still vaporware. Okay, they're late even on this deadline. It's now 1 year over schedule. They've got money to keep coding without anything coming up. So awesome for Cardano, but it's not, again, all pumps in Cardano are going to be watched with a sharp eye for that top formation, break of the uptrend line, exponential moving average crossover, and I'll be watching for those and really following any trades in Cardano with a close stop loss. Binance, Cardano. 1 year view. Oh, look at that bottom formation. And it can really go. Just get a little whiff. It's bad news out there right now and everybody's poo-hooing, but as soon as it gets a little bit exciting and starts breaking the bottom formations, nobody cares. They just want to make money. So as soon as it starts to go, you're going to jump in. And since it is vaporware and they are saying that they have all the money they need to code for a very long time without making any profitable projects, I'm going to look for the 1, 2, 3 top formation and get out of any trade that is going up. And I'm going to get out of any trade that is going up on the 1, 2, 3 top formation break, especially in Cardano. It seems EOS is much the same so far. I'm getting this idea that it's not ready. Okay, we'll check out Phantom in a second. That's off, but that's okay. 2 cryptos are better than Bitcoin. What about the other one? Phantom, IOTA, maybe, Cardano. Phantom, blah, 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 Cardano. Oh. Phantom, Cardano, and maybe IOTA. Oh, it's only mentioning that the acrylic graph technology is used, is the same platform. So we will, I guess, read along with what's going on with Phantom. Pioneering novel way to reach consensus in a distributed network. Phantom. Dun 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 F. Get rid of my favorites. Go down to A, B, C, D, E, F. Is it FTM for Phantom? Must be. Brand new coin. Rising RSI. Bullish sentiment right here in the RSI on the daily view. Nice. In the 12-hour view. Making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Nice move up there in the RSI, holding steady at a bullish stance. Really gathering up nicely. If we are seeing the turnaround in the alts, this is a beautiful formation. If it's going to be going higher, at 155 Satoshi, really, these kind of technologies blow me away. We all know the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So if this takes off from this kind of crazy low, and it does something in the next 10 years that is like Bitcoin did, all of us now can just like shake our heads and say, I didn't put $5 of that away. It would have turned into 5,000. It would have paid for half of a car, you know, a low budget used car. Okay. Let me write notes here. Now, EOS and ADA are watch for pumps. And a small portion of it for super long term. FTM, long-term technology. ADA and FTM more so than EOS. EOS is feeling like it's a pump only, and really be watching that as it's going up. So good to discover Phantom and read up about that. Crypto briefing, Cardano staking. So everything you need to know about staking Cardano. So if there's another star on having ADA as a long-term. Just set it up for staking and leave it alone forever. In 5 years, 10 years, then you'll know your answer. And it'll be a phenomenal answer if you've got the patience to leave it sit there and not jump in and out. That's the hardest thing. So this is interesting that the larger pools will get lower rewards as they get too big. So this will keep the pools sorted out. So somebody can start a new pool. Everybody will move over to them until they get too big. So new pools will be floating all the time as this is building up. So you'll also need various technical skills. You need constant internet connectivity. So if you have, it doesn't require a lot of power. So a spare computer, no minimum amount of wealth. There's no minimum staking limit. And so right now, I would say it's in the first stage of the test net. So it's a real long-term approach to it. So you're really, and it's okay right now to be doing it and putting out there and staking. As we come to the top of a top formation, the next year and a half, we'll probably be able to shut down the staking, pull out the rewards, sell out the investment, and then watch for the downtrend to finish up where we do the same thing again. Take the money, put it back in there, set it out for the staking and just leave it for a long time. So super long-term process here. And I see that you guys have an hour live stream talking about the Cardano updates just this week. So this is also awesome. I will subscribe to the Cardano effect. So Cardano, better than Bitcoin. Good bit of first research to put into place. Now we have an additional coin, more than just the margin traded coins. And the purpose of my research is so that I can focus in on the BitMEX margin traded coins like Cardano when it's doing something like this and it's coming out of a bottom formation and making great on balance volume. This is the trading signals we look for. So while Bitcoin is fooling around here, I don't know how these alts will continue to handle it. If Bitcoin dominance breaks below this green line, the alts are doing good. But if Bitcoin dominance bounces off here and starts to go rise again as Bitcoin is taking off and finishing off its parabolic move, all of these altcoins right now that look so great are going to be crushed back down. And that's the measure of it right here, is the Bitcoin dominance. So I want to continue going through the fundamental analysis a little bit. And then I want to find, where's that cryptocurrency calendar? Crypto Calendar Pro. Do we have anything in our margin traded coins that have an announcement here coming up in September? Mana is not, KCS is not margin traded. I think Bitcoin Cash is. Tron, monthly BTT airdrop. So if you're holding Tron, you get BTT every month. Bitcoin is going to have a release coming up. Really? Blocking US customers on Binance happens on September the 12th. Tron, dApp chain optimization. Tron event. The airdrop. Is Tron's sidechain expansion project scheduled for September the 15th. Now this is juicy stuff. So Tron, TRX, September 15th. Cross-chain infrastructures, dApp sidechains. Cool. Awesome. So again, if you guys are just joining the stream now, or you're dropping in later, if you have any tips on where to go and find fundamental analysis, project news and updates on any of these margin traded coins, the coins that are margin traded on Binance or the margin traded coins on BitMEX, feel free to share them in the chart. Ethereum Classic is having a hard fork. Storage. I'm a big fan of Storage. AE Universe 1 conference in Prague. The Future of Blockchain conference. So in the end of September, we're seeing a few conferences. Oh, there's a Phantom conference. And so I would say that excitement building up to the conference with the anticipation of launching something interesting, an announcement, would make people be purchasing these in advance, usually just before the conference. And then at the day of the conference, they find out there is no fantastic announcement that they were anticipating, and they sell all their stuff. And right after the conference, the prices go down. Well, let's see how that turns out as these ones come up. So what is this hard fork for? Scheduled hard fork. After delays and dissent, the Classic developers reached consensus to activate the hard fork in September. Okay, so they reached consensus. It's not a hard fork split where they're fighting. Hello from Canada out to London. That's awesome to see. We're getting over to Europe. 7 p.m. Nice evening time over there. And Tom, I'm betting you're not from Greenland. And you're tired of that joke. Storage, I think, is going to be phenomenal. It has been going down and down with the rest of the cryptos. I've been pumping it for a long time. Not pumping it, but promoting my belief in it or sharing my belief in it, because it is a decentralized place where you can use your own hard drives to become part of the network and earn cryptocurrency for renting out your hard drive. Like, everybody wants to be a landlord. That's how the rich get richer, and they keep the poor not having anything because they have to give all their money away for rent. But it is a business agreement, so you can do the same thing on a micro level with hard drives and rent out your space to storage. And if they're having an event and they're getting the news out there and they're talking about their plans for the future, I think that they will get some news, they'll get some launching going from there, and they are making some phenomenal chart patterns right now. It was one of our recent alerts that we give out to our crypto alert subscribers. QNT, I'm not as familiar with. OPQ. Q. No wonder. QNT. Just because it has a conference going on doesn't mean I'm going to be excited about it. It's not traded on Binance. Not going to be one of our margin traded coins. So it's not going to get much attention from me. Binance. Let's go back and I'll close storage and quant. And now Zilla is going to have its event in London the 21st of September. And this is an interesting technology. Past events. So they're continually working. That's great to see. And what do we have for here? Phantom, new stuff. Only the first listings for trading. Community contest. And now it's listed on Binance. So the 21st of September is going to be interesting. We already have Phantom written down. I'm going to put Zilla down. And TRX. 21st of September. 21st of September for Zilla. Gotta go look. Wow. Look at this RSI divergence. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, breaking out on volume. Beautiful formation. It's a buy signal setting up right now. But of course, this was a beautiful buy signal here too. And if Bitcoin takes off from where it is right now and it goes up, this little beautiful buy signal is going to go back down right away. So it's a precarious, it's so tempting, but it may not be the bottom. So anything like this, we've always got to start off with a small position, be ready to get out. Start with a small position, be ready to get out. Start with a small position, be ready to get out. Start with a small, all the way until the time. Finally, there will be a bottom. And start with a small position, then you're proven correct. You add on to that position later, and then your trading transforms. It changes your trading by losing correctly over time. It's a good plan. But of course, if we're trying to only make money in cryptocurrencies this last year and a half, it's been pretty dismal. There's been no money to be made from buying low and selling high in cryptocurrencies. A little bit here that we did in December to February, but then everything was toast after that. Hey, Willie Woods, good to have you along. Doom to doom. All right, so now that goes through the crypto calendar and brings up a few things for the rest of the month coming up. For the next 3 weeks, we've got a couple new Digitex futures. Pure Coin Fork. So in October, we'll have a few new announcements too. I'm certain that there'll be more events added to this calendar as time is getting closer to the event. Then people will go, oh yeah, I got to list my event. But we got a couple of them now to be watching for and get ready for. And they are showing great bottom formations. So if they are going to build up until those conferences, it gives us a date to look for the top formations out of these bottom formations that we're seeing right now. So in Binance, we've looked at EOS, USDT, who cares? It's just a stable coin. BCHABC, I'm not as personally, I don't care. And a fork of a fork, whatever. I haven't studied it much, so that's my own personal opinion. And then when I get to this chart formation, that overdoes my opinion. Once it makes the chart formation, it's time to trade it. And so let's go back here and find Bitcoin Cash and go and check this off the list. Put my own personal things off to the side. So Bitcoin Cash has Reddit. I don't see a Twitter. So they're having a conference the 4th to 5th of September. And they're doing good promotions. They are not slackers sitting back. Posted SLP dividend calculator. So I guess tip bitcoin.cash redesign, trying to get people to pick up and use it. Do beginners really know the difference between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash? No. I have no idea, and I've been over it for a long time, but it's my own personal bias where I just didn't even read up on them. Pick your own branding and go. If you've changed things and you're split, everybody has to have their own branding. So just for that reason, I just sort of went, okay, whatever they're doing, it's okay. I'll just watch the charts, but I haven't read up on it much. So if you guys are Bitcoin Cash lovers, hit the thumbs up. If you think I should be covering this and studying this more, if there's enough going on with Bitcoin Cash that it should get the attention that Zilla and Tron and FTM and ADA are getting, then you let me know. Because right now I'm watching the chart, but Bitcoin is sell Bitcoin SV from the hard fork into Bitcoin Cash. And this is something that I've not done well, is I do have Bitcoin wallets that have all of these forks in there, and I've never done a thing with them. My experiences using Bitcoin. So I think I'll just move on from this one. There's a conference coming up that we saw the 4th and 5th of September in Australia. So that, what is that now? 2 weeks from now? And if I go to Bitcoin Cash, it is making a bottom formation. And so if it starts to surge and go up here and the exponential moving averages cross over, it is a buy signal. So I don't know if it's my bias or not. You guys can leave me a note in the comments and you can trash me for my Bitcoin Cash bias. That'd be fine. Let's go on to Ethereum, which I also now have a bias against. And only because I've been hearing that Ethereum block network is getting full. And I'm just scrolling down through this on the Reddit to see if I hear anything about that. DevCon, scholars. And the big news is the new Ethereum is supposed to have all that sharding and things to speed it up and to help it scale. And what I want to find out is when is that? August 15th. So if you guys know anything about what's going on with Ethereum and its major launch, let me know. Let me know where I should be looking that up. Efficient, some sort of universal constructions. There's so many new words to this technology that a lot of it makes no sense without a lot of research and reading. So Serenity, or Ethereum 2.2, is long awaited, even longer in the works, to go from proof of work to proof of stake. Huge updates on scalability, important milestone, blah, 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 blah. Give me a date. Any inconsistencies? Okay, get in touch with shards, cross-linked slot, validators, good stuff. Phase 0, phase 1. Oh, they're going to be phasing it in. So we've got a long time to see all these things setting up. That's enough research for Ethereum. Unless you've got something else you think I should be looking up. I want to go to the Ethereum price level. Go to the daily chart view. And just from the simple fact that we're back this far, we should have a pump just before the conference for Bitcoin Cash. You'd think that some of those big whales would be investing in it just to get the noise and the news going, because they are very, very passionate about their project. One thing I'm looking for here is the parabol, or the, what do you call it now? The capitulation bounce and consolidation. So the capitulation pattern, just as a general rule of thumb, is sort of an anti-parabolic move, but downward. And then it bounces off of a level and consolidates into a formation for us, a nice pointed formation. And we can see that this kind of matches that parabolic move down. It doesn't have as deep and as a violent as a pullback. Like this one was a really good example of it, and then it failed. The pissing off the roof formation. Now we're bouncing again. Is it deep enough? Is it deep enough? Are we going to go into another parabolic move down? We are down below the lows for this historical data. I think Poloniex might have longer data back before November 2018 for Ethereum. Yes. And so by looking at Poloniex, we can see that we are back to historical price levels according against Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is up triple in price from these back levels. So dollar value, Ethereum US dollar value is way higher than it was back in 2017, just because we're measuring this in Bitcoin and Bitcoin value is higher. And so as Bitcoin slides off, it would make sense that this is going to be taking off. I want to go to BitMEX and keep my favorites, but get rid of the Bitcoin sorting so that I can add in Ethereum US dollar. And here we go. Just as I was saying that back here in 2017, the overall price of it is quite a bit higher, like tripled from $20, well, more than tripled to $200. It's 10 times the value. 10 times the value from what it was back then, and in an uptrend. Even though this is really actually quite beautiful, because we have the 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 bottom formation setting up. We have the price come up and retest it and give us our buy signal. Up we went. We have the sell signal on the break of the 1, 2, 3 top formation. And I know that if I zoom into the 4-hour time frame, we'll have our exponential moving average cross over at that same time. Beautiful, classic. Now that it's coming back here and giving us a 1, 2, 3 in the US dollar value, right above these technical support and resistance levels. Let's go right back here. Pretty scribbly. It's crazy. It's a beautiful chart formation. The RSI is diverging from the price, really looking like it's setting up to go. And if Bitcoin is easing off, I would expect this is going to be following Bitcoin, actually, really, generally following Bitcoin. So maybe it, and also if it breaks down below these levels, it is a sell signal and it's time to get out, and it's going to be going down against Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin will be going down. Ethereum will be going down. It'll be nasty. So I would love to be bullish on it, but this chart pattern could be really super bullish, and at the same time breaks below there. You may as well, it's the pissing off the roof formation all the way along, and we're going to get that capitulation low yet. So I can't be all bullish on Ethereum. And the fundamental analysis talking about how long this is going to take to get phase 2 to come out, there's going to be all sorts of crap going on. I'm not really jumping on Ethereum with much excitement after going through this stuff. Wow. I love it when I go through and I'm finding things I wasn't expecting. I'm also not expecting to find out good news for Ripple. And the reason my bias is because this is now becoming that major money movement mechanism for banks. If that's the case, it's like their oil. And they don't want that to be volatile in price. They don't want to have to think about what that is going to mean for, as far as I can imagine. The less they have to think about it, the easier it is for them to use, the better. And so to have a stable price of Ripple is going to be more preferable, I would imagine. And I could be completely wrong. And the way I can tell that I'm wrong, instead of guessing that I'm wrong, is by looking at the price chart and the 1, 2, 3 patterns. So here is the price versus Bitcoin. Here is the price versus US dollar. Look how stable that is against US dollar. Couple blinks here, but driven right back down and held there. Well, it worked its way up, driven right back down there and held there. So even if it breaks higher, I can only start with a very small position. Even if it breaks higher, I can only go with a very small position, and I'll be continually watching for the top formations, as it gets driven back down. I wouldn't play this for anything more than a popcorn move, where you could invest $5 into it and have your sell orders already layered out. As it comes up, you're reducing the size of your position and reevaluate afterwards. I don't think it's going to go into a trend up to $50 a coin, $500 a coin, no matter how many trillions of dollars are being processed with it. So I might be wrong. And the chart formations will tell me as it's building up above these levels. Right? It's made the 1, 2, 3. It's doing something. It's bounced back. It goes above these levels, makes a 1, 2, 3. races itself up, makes another formation, and then starts to break that. Now I'm in these ranges. I'm going to start to consider myself wrong. I'm going to start to consider that we have seen a trend, and that when it comes back down to touch against this bottom trend and it's making the 1, 2, 3 formation and breaking out, this is nitro moment. Maybe this moment right here would be nitro moment. If it came against this trend, made that 1, 2, 3 formation and was starting to break higher, that's nitro. That's leverage trade. This is where you're holding that little bit for a whole bunch, but you're doing that super blast along the straight stretch, and as soon as it tops, you're out of that blast and just back to your basic hold and reevaluating afterwards. We'll see how that turns out in the long term, but that's for all of the cryptos. That's the general plan now, is to watch that trend line, because they will hit a trend and they're just going to chug right along it. The institutions have been selling this down to get these low prices. That and the force of everybody selling their cryptos to go into Bitcoin, and everybody's selling their cryptos to go into Bitcoin at the wrong time. Right here, when they were looking the best, unfortunately, it was the time to be selling all the cryptos to go into Bitcoin. And the dominance was the thing that was telling us that. So I wanted this to be fundamental analysis, and I'm charting. Yes, I can go take a look at Stratus too. But the main thing I want to go through is the margin traded markets on Binance. I want to get inside notice if there are any events coming up, if there's any announcements or technology releases coming up in any of these coins, because this is where we can hit the nitro button. Now that we have margin trading, we can load up on this at the right moment. When we're coming along a straight stretch, we see that trend all setting up, and now is the time to be doing the preparation in advance. Not only just for knowing the fundamentals, but also charting out everything to do with every single coin that is working on Binance or on Poloniex or BitMEX, and knowing exactly which ones are bullish, which ones are bearish, which ones are taking off first. Combine that with this knowledge of when the events are, what's going on with these, and then we can really start to make some money, especially now that we can take a look at margin trading. There will be times when these things are going to top out. They're going to make top formations. I want to short them at that time. I want to be doing nitro in both directions. Oh, Bitcoin, what are you doing? Oh, look at ADA, smoking. It's taking that step up. But Bitcoin's not finished yet. We have a negative cross in the MACD, but this is the 5-minute time zone. Filter by Bitcoin. What do you want? Stratus again? Stratus. So down, downtrend. And according to the simple trading plan, if you haven't downloaded that from the website, intro-to-cryptos.ca, head over there, put your email address in, and you get a copy of the simple trading plan and updates and some inspirational email as well. In the simple trading plan, we have 3 tenets: break of the downtrend line, which we have here, sort of. And this is subjective. You could put this trend line in different ways and say, no, it's not breaking. It's, that's just very rough. For the buy signal, this is a very rough guess, part of it. The second part of the buy signal is that we get a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that breaks higher. So we have the number 1 point is the lowest low in the downtrend. So here was a potential number 1 point here. Prices came up. They made a potential number 2. They came down and retested the number 1, but failed. This was looking really good, actually. At this moment, if we draw this chart back and just do this and look at that moment, it's looking really good. We have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation setting up. We have volume coming in on this breakout. Prices are looking good as it's coming up. And then it starts to fade back. And if you got in too soon, now you have to get out now. You already have to have that planned. And then, there's the FOMO spike. A whole bunch of people probably bought into this. Look at that volume, especially if you zoom in on that day and you're looking at the 15-minute charts. Here it goes. It's blasting up past our 1, 2, 3 formation. Beautiful. So you have to have your risk control rules practiced in advance. Otherwise, these things kill you. Look, then of course, you may know. You may be a bag holder. And if you've lost more than $100 in your cryptocurrency trading, you owe it to yourself to do some research so that you are going to make sure that that doesn't happen as often again. You owe it to yourself to take some more lessons, and not just take a lesson. I can teach you front kick for a karate movement in 10 minutes. But you know that you don't actually know front kick after 10 minutes. It's not like mathematics where 1 + 1 = 2. This takes repetition. And those people who drill for skill and repeat this over and over and over, just like going to a karate class for 3 times a week for 3 years, you will build the habits. You will build the recognition. You will know that this is when to get out of a trade, when to get into it. As you're seeing it all build up, you'll get that picture. So now we're waiting. For me, I'm waiting for this to build the 1, 2, 3 and break higher than these levels for any kind of entry into this. And I expect that there's going to be those pumps. There's going to be those FOMO pumps that are blasting up and pulling back. And that's the reason that I use the exponential moving average as a filter so that these things don't get me. I don't FOMO into these. I want to. Of course, I want to. I see it blasting. I'm excited too. But my exponential moving average hasn't crossed over yet. I can't get in. I can't do it. And then later I look back and go, wow, that was cool. Awesome. And that's happened so often, I don't blink now. When we get to these formations, I go, yeah, that's awesome. We're coming up to it. But I know that when I'm traveling across to the West Coast, I can see it coming a long time before I get there. Same with these trades. So it's setting up. And if you're a bag holder, more patience is required. And it may be in vain. If Bitcoin is going to be taking off from here, this could still all get crushed down more. Remember, Ethereum is 10 times the value in US dollars than it was back in 2017. Same with many of these alts. There's still lots of room for them to go down. And so, while we're getting ready for these bottom formations, also watching at the same time for them to be failing. Just as Bitcoin is looking like it's going to break higher here, that's good. It's good to be paying attention, but we have to be ready for it to be failing at the same time. So if you know anything about Ripple that's going to change my mind on the future price of Ripple, let me know. But I've watched some of the exciting things about what Ripple is going to do in the entire world, but I don't know if that's going to actually change the price of the coin, no matter how much it's used everywhere. I'll just watch those formations now on Ripple. But if you got any input on Ripple in the comments or in the chat, I'd be grateful for it. Now, Litecoin, I'm not expecting. I wasn't expecting Litecoin Core release. October 28th is their powering up the garage for his mining. So the core release, new major version, new features, bug fixes, performance improvements, and updated translations. How to upgrade. So this is for all of the Litecoin node operators. And when is this? Please released. This is a major new thing. May 6th, so it's already in the works. That's not new news. That's not going to move the price. Litecoin Summits 2019. Nice GIF. Litecoin project on Twitter. So May the 7th, new core. Important security releases. So this is lots of security releases for the new node setup, which is always a pain in the ass. Put something in, oh, patch the next day, patch the next day, patch the next day. Killer for sure. So I guess Litecoin, it's not giving me any, I don't know, nothing new right away. But let's go take a look at Litecoin chart. And I'm going to go back to BitMEX. Is that right? Yes, I think. Just my favorites, not BTC. There. So from here, I can go to Litecoin versus BTC. And we can see on this daily view that it is back to historical levels. Really amazing opportunity. If we're going to do something that happened, like, then we are in the works for some big money coming up. Huge money coming up. More than double your money coming up in Litecoin. And I imagine it's going to go very, very much higher than that. Let's look at the 5-year view of this. So this is the weekly chart. Pulling down. Look at the volume that went on here on this run up. The volume in Litecoin was astonishing. We haven't seen anything like that yet. Where are those institutional guys? So we've got to really watch this volume on the weekly view. I'm surprised, actually. I'm expecting more from it. Now, Litecoin US dollar, it has gone up higher and higher again. So let's go back to the Bitcoin. We see that it is matching lows from the past versus Bitcoin. But Litecoin versus US dollar is gaining and gaining and holding, and the RSI is easing off and holding at these levels back to this historical support and resistance levels in the US dollar value. That looks pretty good. So let's zoom in on this to the 1-day view. Not going to be an immediate long-term turnaround. We can see the divergence in the RSI. I'm zipping back into my comfortable state here of doing charts, and I want to be doing fundamentals here. This is really building up to a nice formation. Beautiful. Beautiful starting to set up here. So I don't know if I can find fundamental information about Litecoin different than what's going on with Bitcoin. I don't know that Litecoin actually changes that much. It stays pretty much the same. It is little tweaks, but it's not going to be revolutionary new technology that's going to up and change everything that's coming in. It's already the way it is. I just see it as a form of money that is different than the US dollar, Canadian dollar, and all of those fiat currencies, and that it has value just that way. So this guy heats his house for sure with this setup. Back in May. Hopefully he's made some money off of this. He is expecting the bull runs starting back in May, and of course we haven't seen that since May. It was building up, right? This is the beginning of it. This is the start, and then we hit that top formation and broke it from there as Bitcoin leveled out. That's crazy. Oh, and this is the US dollar value. So this chart isn't as familiar to me. I only look at this just for entertainment. It's not my main view. I always like to look at the Bitcoin view of all coins, because ultimately we're trading to build up our Bitcoin, not to build up the US dollar. And the reason is Bitcoin is going to go up to 100,000 or further in dollars in value, where the US dollar certainly isn't going to be. So it's sort of like comparing against monopoly money to look at how your coin is doing against US dollar. It doesn't matter. We're trying to build up more Bitcoin. So all through this whole time here, it's not the time to hold any Litecoin. It's all time to hold Bitcoin. Even if you're just going sideways, you held your value, where this has been going down against Bitcoin. And that's the main measure. Hold your value or lose it. Now, if Bitcoin is going to be doing a curve up off this for a parabolic move, we're into something. ONT. Let's go see. Well, let's see what I got here. Binance coin. I don't think there's going to be fundamentals in this one either. Correct me if I'm wrong for Binance Coin, but I don't think there's going to be very many fundamentals. It is a utility token that I don't think is a technology changing an industry. It's just a means of exchange inside Binance, and because they're doing the Binance margin trading and they're basing everything on the back and forth of this, it's gaining value that way. But I don't actually get it. So if you could put a comment down below or something in the chat that lets me know what I should be looking at for Binance Coin for fundamentals. Complete system upgrade. Game theory to profit and create supply, deflation, and scarcity. Binance CEO criticizes Buterin over his scalability. Criticize you for what you didn't know 5 years ago. So I'm not seeing anything jumping up. Complete system upgrade here 9 days ago. It has completed its system upgrade. So no, I'm not seeing anything for like Binance Coin itself. Price inflation causes for money supply inflation and market scarcity. It started as an inflationary token, but will end as a deflationary one. The team has announced that they will burn the allocation instead of inflating the market. The supply will stop being destroyed at 100 million. So the team still has 40% of the tokens. Use cases as gas being used on BNB, decentralized exchange, trading fee discounts, holder drops. So they thought that would create enough buying pressure for it, but they're cutting the supply to create scarcity in the market. When was this? 12 hours ago. Binance Coin, BNB, 1 year view. All right, they're doing stuff, but this is still bouncing down the stairs like a slinky. Doing, 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 until it makes a bounce go in the other direction, and we have some higher lows and some higher highs. We're not going, I don't buy it. There's probably going to be more dumping going on out of this. It's not looking like a bottom formation turnaround like we had back here. Not looking like a bottom formation turnaround. Of course, it didn't look like a bottom formation turnaround here either. Here, it did not. Actually, we caught this bottom formation as it was breaking higher. Even though I said, oh, I don't like it, it's a formation, I have to trade it. And then I got out way too soon, and it continued to go on. And so, then the bounce off of these technical levels, there's nothing in the history for that. Not much. Didn't really bounce off anything. Pretty much an air bounce there. It has to hold above these levels. Now that it's eked above them, that's the only thing that give this chart pattern any structure that I like. So even though we've got this news about it and that they're burning their supply, it's not enough to change the overall perception of the coin right now. It got all pumped up and then everybody's going, what's it for again? Off it went. But so did Litecoin come down at the same way. Not nearly as deep. So I will change my view if this changes, but I don't see any fundamentals in this that is giving me a news date or anything that I can use for trading it. Right now, with Bitcoin looking at like a top formation breaking lower there, we'll have to just watch what BNB is doing. So Binance Coin, not getting anything out of that either. Cardano we did look at earlier, and we looked at Tron earlier. And they both came out with some interesting stuff. Tron has a September 15th release of some D-app sidechain technology. Zilla has a conference on the 21st of September. FTM has a conference on the 21st of September. ADA and FTM were labeled some of the best promising long-term coins, better than Bitcoin, but all of them seem to be still in development phase and maybe a year and a half before they really take you off into something. So we could be at the very beginning of a good idea to buy $5 of this stuff and just sit on it and wait. Let's go see if we can find anything about LinkChain. If you know something of LinkChain or a good place for me to go find official chain link links and resources, that would be awesome. Wow, tons of stuff here. So let's go to the website. What's the pivotal tracker? And let's go to at smart contracts, smartcontract.com. Why are they listing that? Chainlink Ambassador. The definitive guide to successfully integrating off-chain data into your Ethereum smart contract with Chainlink, and wow, that's over my head. Yeah, Web 2.0, surveillance capitalism. The more they can put into blockchain, the more they can surveil. Some 15 protocols will be there at this Outlier Ventures conference. When? Who will be at the conference? When is the conference? Okay, there it is, in October. What is this again? Anyway, this is for Link. October 19th and 20th. Link. One-year view. This was a phenomenal trade from December and on. December, we picked up trades here out of the continuation and here out of that continuation. Held them through this area. I know I did some selling up in here, and I still own some from my earlier trade that is still floating there in profit. So what's going on now? Well, we have a top formation setting up. We had the break of this trend line. Those are not very good lines. 1, 2, 3. You can fudge it, but it's either a consolidation in a longer term uptrend, which is certainly possible, or it's consolidation that's going to be breaking down below these levels. And so the hot areas are going to be trading above here, and there's nothing doing in the middle because there's no knowing what's going to be going on. If that conference is coming up in October, I imagine it's going to pump to make a double top by October. I imagine that. People are very excited about this technology. It's done some phenomenal moves for a reason. While Bitcoin was going up and almost none of the other currencies were doing that. So as it consolidates here and starts to break higher, we'll be watching for the top formation here now in October. Anywhere in October that this makes a top formation, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, then we'll be watching for the top formation and the divergence with our indicators and see what's going on with that. But we won't have an alert come out on this until it's breaking above these levels. It's got to stabilize and give some strength. Maybe a springboard pattern out of this if we start zooming in. Maybe, but not yet. It has to come back and make a 1, 2, 3 formation in here, at least, and then maybe an add-on above these levels. Other than that, we've got some super danger levels below here. And right now it's in the in-between, nothing doing. We know that there's stuff coming up, so that's good. And we can watch what's going on with the price. Smartcontract.com. The Outlier Ventures Conference. Most promising token protocols come together for a combined development conference. That would be very cool. It'd be a good one to follow all of the tweets during their conferences to really get into what are some of these upcoming technologies that are going to blast. That's what the fundamental analysis is for. So now this Chainlink Public, whatever this was, current backlog, Icebox, Epic's labels, project history. So this is their to-do list and a way to, I don't know, I'm not clicking on anything. Okay, it doesn't work. Anyway, I'm not logged in, so I don't expect it should let me click on anything and change anything. Interesting. So Chainlink and any of the other technologies going to that conference in October, all of those will be something to pay attention to. See which ones are. I'm most interested in the decentralized platforms where you can create your own application on it. Because who knows which one is going to be the next Google, right? All right, so we bounced off here with volume Bitcoin here. On the 5-minute Ichimoku, it is a buy signal. It has crossed over. We'll see what's going on as this unfolds. Back to Binance. I didn't look at ONT. I haven't looked at XLM. That's about it. Let's find ONT. XLM should be up higher here. So now, if you are a ONT holder or trader, let me know. Put it in the chat. If you've got a place where you go to get ONT information, the reason that you got involved in it and you're holding it, share that in the chat so I can go and check it out. Share it in the comments down below if you are watching this later. And once we get this shortened up in this long research one, then I'll have more brief updates for all of these as we're going along so that we can take a look at the fundamentals that might be moving it or the news that might be moving the prices. So ONT, Movie Block, will launch its beta service to do an individual theater. So we have a giveaway coming up. Any way to shift between nodes without canceling. Staking for the Sesame Seed node is now available on the ONT. So if you have as little as one ONT in the latest version of the wallet, then you can be staking ONT. And I think you get ONG as your stake reward, if I'm not mistaken. Onto staking site is shutting down. Okay. ONT in Arabic, that's awesome. You don't see that very much. That is really awesome. So you can buy ONT easily with crypto voucher. ONT tradable pairs on trade 1. That's a new one to me. new one to everyone. 85 followers on trade 1. Chinese public chain of ONT technology. Global Initiative Digital Asset Exchange on trade. So this is brand new, August 23rd. And it is more over in the east. And we'll see what that pulls up in the long term. ONT founders will join Sesame Seed. So that Sesame Seed wallet is really doing well here. But I'm not finding any announcement of changes or events. Okay, here we go. 8 days ago. So this is a platform for DApp developers. And I like it better. Let's go to Binance. PQ. I guess I don't have it marked as a favorite. ONT taking off right now out of a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. As we speak, it's making the buy signal. Zoom back out to the 12-hour view. We can see it's been on a long downtrend. Really did phenomenal from February until the end of March. This was huge. This was a huge gain. It doubled in price, and then it cut back by crazy. What is that? Let me do this. Shift, click. 80% drop over what, 135, 140 days. 80% drop from its high. That means if it goes up from here to there, this is doubling your money up to 16. It's doubling your money here. And then up to 32 is doubling it again. So if you put in $100, you'd have $400 by the time I got up here. And if we can trade this leverage at 3 times, and you put in $100 here, and you get up to here, you have $1,200 from your $100 trade using leverage. But can you hold it for this amount of time while it's going up and down and up and down and up? This is the hardest thing to do, is to sit. If you were to short this out of this top formation, it's a beautiful, exactly the formation that we look for. Phenomenal to have an example like this, because we will be watching for these. That's why I'm doing this research right now. Draw this back so we get the data I'm looking for. And we have our top formation setting up. Look at all these uptrend lines. We have the 1, 2, 3 top formation. We have the exponential moving average break. Everything is saying get out. Everything was saying get out here too. So when that crosses over and then recrosses, we got to get back in. And this one did a little jumping. There would have been some FOMO work to do in here as well. But once it crossed, then it's hands behind your back, because the exponential moving averages are far apart. Even if it spikes up, there's nothing to do. And you don't want to do anything. You want to leave it spike up and don't freak out. Look at this, spiked up and touched it. Don't freak out. This is the only time to get out here, when that crosses over. It's made a 1, 2, 3 and the exponential moving it's crossed over. Then you don't have to fool around anymore. Now that it's made this bottom formation, but then we're watching for a 1, 2, 3 bottom. As it fails and we're going into another downtrend, the 4-hour crossover becomes a signal again for our shorts. And that's what we're doing here in this research, is to get some of this fundamental so that we can identify those opportunities as they're coming up. So a decentralized platform on which you can build apps is my friend. I want some of all of them. And especially to be studying this margin trading, because this is going to be the basis for our alerts. more detailed than the color-coded spreadsheet. That's when we get into the real details of it. And I don't have it open now anymore. All right, here's part of the crypto trading and alerts. These are the coins that we are holding that are above 10% profit right now. And that changes as the coins come up and the Bitcoin value of the coin currently goes up. Past our entry point, we can see that it was a springboard trade entry. We've got our target for where our initial, we could be taking profits at those levels. Our stop loss is set so that we should have almost nothing for risk here. The risk to reward ratio should be negative because that shows that we've moved the stop loss up above the entry point. And then the risk to reward ratio is negative. There's no risk. We are going to get a reward in these. Phenomenal to see these things setting up. Great example right now in the live chart. That's also super cool. So we've covered EOS, Bitcoin ABC, ONT, Ethereum Classic, didn't do it. BNB, Ripple, Ethereum, I didn't do Stellar yet. We did Link, we did Litecoin, USDC, who cares? We did TRX and we did ADA. So the USDC, or these stable coins, that's for shorting these markets. And so when these markets top out and we can short them, then we want to make more USDC or more Bitcoin on those. Hey there, Ed. Good to have you along. I've been doing this all year, and patience will pay. It will pay. It will pay. I've been saying now for such a long time, and it will. Handsomely. We're getting ready for it. And we were ready for it in December. This bull market watch started out heavy last September because we had capitulation lows. Bum, 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 bum. There's that pull up and there's the consolidation. There's the consolidation. So I'm watching like crazy and getting prepared here in October for all of these 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. And they turned into the pissing off the roof formation instead. Requiring all of us cryptocurrency traders to put another year of patience into it. But because we were watching so closely all the way through here, I was ready. We were ready for these 1, 2, 3 bottoms as they set up. And so I was able to grow my cash stack by 80% through this period, and then mostly got out into Bitcoin. So I'm up a little bit from where I was, but I stayed too much into alts after this beginning. I was distracted at the beginning of April at the very moment I needed to be paying attention. And by the time I was turning my attention back to the markets properly, I was going, oh shit, I missed all of my sell signals. I was distracted. Can't do that while you're flying a plane, right? You've got to stay at the wheel. So now we're down to these formations and we're ready. We're ready for these formations. We're going to be ready to watch for them to be, where's this? Let me clear this off. Just roughly spitting one out here. So as this is moving along now, this is what we're going to be looking for in the markets coming up. A trending channel. And you can see that this is actually a very small trending channel compared to where it's got the potential to go in the future. So I do want to have the idea planted in my mind that this is just the beginning. I got to go to a longer chart so I can get enough data in here. There we go. This is just the beginning, and these stages coming, they are coming. The institutions are already in place. As Bitcoin is fading off and these are launching, they don't care about the technology any more than I do. They are caring about the chart formations and the potential to make profit off of it. They know. This isn't an accident that the charts move in these patterns. And once they start into a pattern, I'm going to assume the pattern is going to keep working as it has in the past, as it has in the past, as it has in the past. We get these parallel channels starting to go and everything stays in it. We can see these over and over and over in the charts. It's crazy, especially when we start to map it against what Bitcoin is doing. So as Bitcoin goes sideways, the alts are going up. As soon as it cracks higher, the alts are getting squished down because everybody's loving Bitcoin. Eventually, these other alts will get more love too. But now we're watching for these 1, 2, 3 bottoms. And we're watching for what I'm calling the nitro place. Where do we put on the nitrous oxide in our car? Right? But it's supposed to boost the power incredibly in your car by adding nitrous oxide because it increases the compression ratio in the piston. And so you get much more power out of the same motor in your car by adding nitro. But if you're going to be hitting the nitro button and adding that power to your car, you want to do it on the straight stretch, not on the corner. And right now we're on the corner. We haven't built up into the straight stretch. And so as we're into this straight stretch, we've got notification on where to put on the nitro and when to take it off. And this again is part of our alerts. Nitro. Watch for the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there. This will be a super nitro place right here because of prior support and resistance. So if it comes up, touches against this, pulls back, this just gives us golden place to put leverage on in this trade. That's why I'm doing this research now, because I'm getting ready for and being prepared for when to put the leverage on. I don't want to use it all the time. I've got to be really selective on it because it is super high risky. If it's dropping out of this channel, boom, you're going to lose money fast because the markets will go up on the stairs and down on the elevator. And so as it creates a top formation anywhere, 1, 2, 3, and it starts to break out of this channel, this is the place to start experimenting with a short position. This is the place to put the nitro on because it's going to trend again. We're going to watch for the 1, 2, 3 bottoms formations, and we're going to treat them as a short signal when they fail. We're going to treat them as a buy signal when they confirm. So with the margin trading, we're going to be rocking it because we're not just going to wait and wait and wait and wait for the down for it to finally go up. Now we're here. Now we're finally going up, and we can be starting to build our positions, knowing when nitro is coming, knowing what we're watching for on the exit. I think we should be able to rock it both ways. As we've been rocking it from one way, we could rock it all the way up here, and then there's nothing to do. You just got to stand back and just wait. Right now, with the margin trading, that's going to be quite different for people who are in Canada or Europe or Australia, different places. The US will not have access to this. All right, so that covers it. Ethereum Classic I didn't look at. Stellar I didn't look at. Stellar, I was super pumped on for such a long time. Take a second to read up on Horizon, just released in May. All sorts of stuff to develop on the Stellar Foundation. Simple Python script that streams ledger data from the Stellar network to your something or other. Okay, let's go to their website. Nice graphic. With Stellar as your payment rails, you can use real currencies. So this again is something like Ripple. So it's a currency-backed token on a network. Issuing your own is simple and safe. To issue your own token. So IBM's WorldWire supports 47 currencies powered by Stellar. But it doesn't tell me if Stellar is going to go up in price itself. Again, for me, it's if it only costs a fraction of a penny to make a transaction, they don't want their price to go up. They want that price to stay steady. Stellar makes liquid assets. You can swap between any pair of tokens issued on the network. So what I want to do is develop something that uses this system for transferring payments and take those micro payments for every useful transaction that goes on through it. Issue assets and settle payments on the Stellar network. Roadmap. Create a node, quorum, SKD is updated. Looks like they've got a lot of product development to do. A lot of things not checked off. Stellar Community Fund Round 4, host a Stellar conference scheduled for the November. Increased clarity around Lumen holdings and distribution plans. Okay, I don't get it. Which is with many of these things, I read through, and I go, oh, okay. Nothing's jumping out at me except for that November conference. So let's do Stellar, which is XEM November conference. Not XEM. XLM. All right, so that gives me a few things now for watching what's coming up in these leveraged margin traded coins. There's a couple conferences to pay attention to. Nothing immediate coming up. Many of them are really long-term holds. ADA I like because you can stake it, and if you're buying low and staking it for a while and then selling out when we hit those top formations, that might work out well. But it's such a long-term project. I think that we're going to be in for some ups and downs before it really starts its real bull run. And it may be the same for Zilla too. I didn't read up as much about that one, but ADA, EOS, FTM all look like they're going to be longer term. TRX as well. But TRX a little bit sooner, it's going to have an announcement on September 15th. It'll have a sidechain thing going on. Then Link will be at a conference in October, and we can watch that specific conference that Link is going to in October, because there will be a lot of really good technology representation there. Good to go through those for the fundamentals and to start watching what's going on. So this is a change of my normal, usual format where I'm normally just doing technical analysis, because that's normally the way I trade, is by looking at the charts and making my decisions there using my risk control rules. But I also want to now have the heads up on some of the events that might be shaping the price changes specifically in these margin traded coins, because I want to short them when they make top formations. And so I'm preparing for that now, even though we're at lows and we're making bottom formations and going to go up, I believe. I want to be prepared for the top formations already. I want to know exactly what I'm going to do when this happens. I don't have to think about it. I want to be prepared in advance. Just as I'm prepared in advance for these 1, 2, 3 bottoms, I'm prepared in advance for when to add on to the trade. I want to be prepared in advance for the top formation. And as we know, there's no way to know when the top is coming in. It could be anytime, it could go and go and go. And so we have to trade in a way that allows for that super crazy, way past quadrupling your money, up to 10 times your money, and to do it in some stupid 2-week run as everybody on social media is getting super hyped up about it. And we are going to be watching for the top formations as that happens. This is what our alerts will do, as we will be there for this top formation and the exponential moving average crossover. We'll be making a bunch of noise and taking our profits and talking about our percentage gains. That's the dream. And so Saturdays, I want to do more just hangout. You guys can ask questions, look over any different coin that's coming up. And let me, and that's it. Let's see. So I want to switch away from doing technical analysis of the charts on these live streams. Instead, I want to do fundamental analysis. I want to learn more about the projects themselves. And every day, I do continue on doing the live streams for each of the coins. And let me drag it over here. So I'm continuing to do the Bitcoin live stream each day, and I am continuing to do the cryptocurrency live stream each day. And yet, instead of just doing them on YouTube so that they are free, I have moved them over into our subscribers area so that each day you can log in and watch the shorter, less crap videos directly through the charts. Exactly what I'm looking at, and I can get into the trading much more specifically because it's not the free stuff on YouTube. This is for the people who are actually trading these markets. And you get every day you get the PDF summary of all of our alerts and our hold markets. So you can see right away which markets that we are watching, which ones we have on hold status, which ones are at a small loss. You can quickly see just by looking at these which ones are at a bit of a loss, which ones are holding at profit. You can go into the screenshots, check out the specific target entry, our profit target, the stop loss level, and those stop loss levels are updated so that you can check on them and double check against your own trading to be sure that everything is all A-OK. Lots of great stuff going on in our alerts package. And now it's exclusive for alerts package subscribers. If you want to join and learn more about cryptos, but you don't have more than $1,000 to trade, I don't recommend our alerts package. It's probably a little bit advanced, but I do recommend that you go check out our Patreon group. There's a link down below. And for $15 a month, you get access to our main Patreon Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. This gives you the color-coded index to let you know which markets are warming up as alerts, which ones are turning into hold status, and it's extremely helpful for your trading. You also get access to the daily Bitcoin video, so it's quite a comprehensive service for $15 a month. It is fantastic. Let me go back to the chat. And I guess I'll sign off for now. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Next one will be more brief, or hopefully more interaction. You can ask more about these different coins and I'll be happy to bring them up. But for now, I invite you to come and join us on our Discord chat. There's a link down below. And I will see you next Saturday for another fundamental review, and we'll pick up where we left off today. We'll take all this information that we gathered and we'll be more prepared to be anticipating the events coming up, looking at the prices to decide if this event is actually going to be making a difference on the prices of these margin traded coins. So thanks again for turning up. I'll sign off and wish you guys well for this weekend. Have a great time. Get outside now. Get away from the charts. We really don't need this much time at the charts. You don't need this much time at all these videos. Get outside. Enjoy the life. Cheers. Bye for now.